Okay, so hello, my name is Gloria and I live in Geneva, Switzerland. And today I have a challenge that I'm inviting you to be a part of. The challenge is that today being Monday, 26th of May 2025, I should have ready a finished copy of um, of my end of course work in the form of a dissertation by the 3rd of June, where it is ready to be sent off by post to the University of Geneva. So the topic that I have chosen, is Geneva, City of Refuge, 500 years of welcome. Does this city live up to its name? And so the idea is to go by century by century from the 16th century to the 20th century, and to look at instances where Geneva lived up to its name as being the city of refuge. And then to look at instances where, from the 16th century onwards, Geneva did not live up to its name, as to whether it was really the city of refuge that it's reputed to be. And then to conclude, based on the instances that I cite, whether today we can talk of Geneva being a city of refuge, and that this reputation that it has of being a city of refuge and being a welcoming place for foreigners is actually true. So this is the idea, and now I need to figure out how to structure this dissertation that has to be at least 15 pages long. And so I'm inviting you on this challenge that I am embarking on, because in any case I have to produce this document. It's part of the course that I'm following at the University of Geneva in Culture and Tourism, and this is the end of course work required by every student of the course to produce. And so this is my challenge, and I'm inviting you to join me and to see how I fare and whether I will be able to finish this document and send it off by the 3rd of June, because it has to reach the university latest by the 6th of June. So let's do this. I'm inviting you to join me in this challenge. But before I start, I have the challenge for today is to finish this book, Histoire de Genève by Isabelle Evigo, because before I start, I want to have an idea of all the main what happened in what were the main trends and historical events that happened in each of the centuries from the 16th century to the 20th. So to refresh my memory on the major important historical events that marked each of these centuries from the 16th to the 20th, I'm reading this book. So I'm on the last chapter, which is on Geneva. This is when Geneva joined the Confederation, and then afterwards I will then start with my topic on Geneva, city of refuge with 500 years of welcome. So this is how I will structure my learning today. So at the end of the day, it would be, have I finished this book, Histoire de Genève, and then have I started with the topic of my assignment. So this is how I plan to structure my day today. So at the end of the day, then I'll give you feedback as to whether I succeeded or I didn't. Okay, so let's do this. Let's work with this plan, and we'll see whether I'm able to keep the schedule that I have set for myself today, to as a way to begin this this challenge of writing this assignment, 15-page assignment, and get it dispatched by the 3rd of June. So let's do this. Oh. What time is it? Camera rolling, sound speeding, action 1, 2, 3. So good evening. My name is Gloria. The time now is 9:10 Geneva time, and I am coming back so we have to do this all over again. Camera rolling, sound speeding, action 1, 2, 3. Hello, my name is Gloria. I live in Geneva, Switzerland. The time now is 9:10 Geneva time, and I'm back here in front of the camera to clock register my progress. Like I said earlier, I am on a challenge, yes, a challenge to complete and submit the final copy of a 15-page end of course assignment. The topic of my dissertation is Geneva, City of Refuge, 500 years of welcome. Is that indeed the case? So the idea is to go from the 16th century through to the 20th century, century by century, to see how welcoming Geneva has been, and then to go through the same process from the 16th century to the 20th century to see how unwelcoming Geneva has been, and then in the end to draw a conclusion whether Geneva merits its reputation as a city of refuge, and it really deserves this observation that over the last 500 years it has welcomed refugees. It has welcomed people who have made Geneva the refuge, and it indeed merits to be considered as a city of refuge because over the last 500 years it has proven beyond reasonable doubt that it has been a welcoming city. So this will be my dissertation. I now need to see how I structure it, but the idea I have is, first of all, I introduce the topic of my dissertation. The theme is that Geneva has this reputation of being a city of refuge, and a welcoming city over the last 500 years, from the 16th century up to the 20th. And so I'm going to go century by century to see how Geneva indeed proved that it was a welcoming city and it took on refugees. And at the same time, I'm going to look for instances within the last 500 years how Geneva proved not to be as welcoming as we would like, as it would like us to believe. And then I would conclude that, based on how welcome it was and how not so welcome it was, can we still talk of Geneva as being a city of refuge over the last 500 years, and therefore can be described as a welcoming city? So this is basically the idea I have, and now I have to put it all down on paper and have a finished document by the 3rd of June, because latest at the 3rd of June I have to post a copy of the final work of my work by post, and then also submit it by email, and a finished copy, final copy with no grammatical errors and mistakes, and also with all the bibliography properly cited and everything. So that is a bit of a challenge, but I have it all in my head, and now it is to put it down on paper. So this is the structure that I have, and of course I have to insert a table of content, and then if I need to insert images and everything, I should do so as well, and cite them and everything and reference them. So this is the challenge. So I'd like you to join me in this challenge to see whether I'll be able to accomplish this by the deadline of latest 3rd of June 2025. So voila. And so right now it's 9:15. I'm really tired, and it's time to take a break from study. And so what I'm going to do is to find something to eat, and then to just throw myself on the couch and to just enjoy some television. Could be Roland Garros, because they started today, the 26th of May 2025, or I could binge on some Netflix movies, but whatever it is, my brain needs a break. And yeah, so this was the challenge of today. So the challenge of today was to finish this book, Histoire de Genève by Isabelle Evo. Histoire de Genève by Isabelle Evo. That way I have a more complete, rounded understanding and view of the history of Geneva. And that way, when I go into the different centuries in writing my dissertation, I more or less have an idea what happened in each century. Of course, I will go back and do some fact checking and everything, but at least now I more or less know how the history of Geneva from the very beginning, when it was formed, up until now. So this is great. So I can pull out all the bookmarks and transfer them to the next next history book that I will be looking at. So yeah, so voila. So the challenge that I set for today was to finish this book, and so that challenge has been accomplished. So it was to finish this book, and this book has been finished. I took notes, and so the notes have been completed, and so now I can put this book away. I won't file it totally because I'm sure I'll be coming back to it for some fact checking and referencing and whatever, but at least this challenge has been accomplished. So yeah, these are all my bookmarks, you know, that I got from different bookshops, libraries, and everything. And so now it's to go on to my next book, where I will use as my main reference book for my dissertation. So this is it. So challenged, accomplished. Yeah, challenged, accomplished. So this is great. Yeah, challenged, accomplished. Ah, God. So voila. So we're going to call it an evening. It has been a very successful and profitable day. I'm very happy with my achievement. And so now it's time to take a break, relax, and to enjoy a comfortable, leisurely evening. So on this note, bye-bye.